Hello there, friend. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been introduced to someone new, smiled, nodded, and then completely blanked on their name 2 seconds later? Or maybe you found yourself staring at a calendar, scratching your head, wondering, now, when exactly is Margaret's birthday? If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You're in good company. You see, as we get a little wiser in years, our brains sometimes decide to play hide and seek with the details we really want to remember. But here's the thing. Forgetting a name or a date doesn't mean your memory's slipping away for good. In fact, your brain is just waiting for you to give it the right tools to shine again. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. In this video, I'm going to share 6 simple everyday tricks to help you remember names and dates as easily as you did decades ago. These aren't complicated puzzles or tedious drills, just practical down-to-earth strategies you can start using today. We'll kick things off with the first 3, and before you know it, you'll be impressing your friends, family, and even yourself with how sharp your memory can be. So, let's start with the first trick, and trust me, this one's a game changer. It's all about linking names to something you already know. Think of it like giving your brain a friendly little anchor. For example, imagine you meet a new neighbor named Cliff. Instead of just saying, "Nice to meet you," take an extra second to connect his name to something familiar. Maybe you picture him standing on the edge of an actual cliff, or you think of your old friend Clifford from back in the day. The sillier or more vivid the connection, the better. Our brains love stories and images, so the more you can turn a name into a mental movie, the stickier it becomes. Now, the second trick is something you can do right in the moment. Repeat, repeat, repeat. When someone tells you their name, don't just hear it. Use it. Say it back to them. "It's so nice to meet you, Linda." Then, sneak it into the conversation once or twice more. "Linda, how long have you lived in the neighborhood?" Every time you say their name out loud, you're reinforcing that memory pathway in your brain. And here's a bonus tip. If you're trying to remember a date, like your granddaughter's recital, say it aloud while jotting it down. October 12th, October 12th. Simple, right? But oh, does it work? All right, ready for the third trick? This one's all about creating a mental snapshot. Let's say you're at a family gathering and you meet your nephew's new wife, Sophia. Take a good look at her. Notice her smile, her glasses, the colorful scarf she's wearing. Now, imagine her name, written in bold letters across that scarf, or picture her holding a giant globe, because Sophia sounds like Geo, which means Earth. The key is to tie her name to a visual detail that stands out. Our brains are wired to remember the unusual, so don't be afraid to get creative. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Will this really work for me? Absolutely. But like anything worth doing, it takes a little practice. Start small. The next time you're introduced to someone, take a deep breath. Give yourself that extra second to make a connection and let the magic happen. Before long, you'll be remembering names and dates like it's second nature. And that's just the beginning. So, let's keep this momentum going. Grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's explore even more ways to unlock that brilliant memory of yours. You know, one of the most wonderful things about our brains is how much they thrive on patterns. Think about it. How many times have you remembered a phone number not as a string of digits, but as chunks? 8675309 becomes 8675309 without a second thought. Well, that same idea works like a charm for dates too. Let's call this fourth trick chunking, and it's all about breaking numbers into bite-sized pieces that mean something to you. Here's how it works. Let's say your grandson's birthday is December 17th, 2005. Instead of trying to memorize 12/17/2005 as a random sequence, break it down. Maybe 12 reminds you of the 12 days of Christmas, 17 is your lucky number, and 2005 was the year your old neighbor got that bright red convertible he'd always talked about. Suddenly, the date isn't just numbers. It's a little story you've pieced together. Or, take a historical date like 1776. If you're a history buff, you might instantly think, that's the year we declared independence. But even if dates aren't your thing, you could chunk it into 17 and 76. Maybe 17 was your high school football jersey number, and 76 makes you think of the bicentennial. The key is to make those numbers personal. Now, let's try this with something you might use every day. Imagine you need to remember a doctor's appointment on March 8th. March is the third month, right? So 3/8. Maybe you link that to your favorite childhood rhyme, 3/8 don't be late. Silly? Sure, but that's why it sticks. Our brains cling to rhythm and rhyme, which brings me to our fifth trick, the power of stories. This one's a personal favorite. Let's say you meet a couple named Rose and Bud at a community potluck. Instead of trying to remember their names separately, weave them into a quick mental story. Picture Rose holding a bouquet of roses, handing a bud to a little seedling in a garden. Or maybe Bud is telling a story about how he budded into his wife's life when they were teenagers. The more vivid the tale, the better. Stories give your brain a framework, a beginning, middle, and end, that makes details harder to forget. And don't worry, you don't need to be Shakespeare to make this work. Keep it simple. If you're trying to remember that your friend Evelyn's anniversary is June 10th, imagine Evelyn and her husband cutting a cake shaped like a June bug while celebrating their perfect 10 of a marriage. See how the date and name become part of the same scene? It's like leaving yourself a trail of breadcrumbs back to the memory. Now, I'll let you in on a secret. The best part about these tricks is that they get easier the more you play with them. It's like flexing a muscle you didn't know you had. Start with the low-pressure moments. Practice chunking the expiration date on your milk carton or inventing a tiny story about the cashier at the grocery store. Before long, you'll catch yourself doing it without even thinking. And here's something else to consider. Sometimes, the simplest solutions are right at our fingertips, but we'll save that for, well, let's just say, the best is yet to come. For now, why not grab a pen and jot down a date or name you want to remember this week? Try chunking it or spinning it into a quick story. You might surprise yourself with how much fun it is to outsmart that sneaky little forgetfulness. You've made it this far, and let me tell you, friend, that's no small feat. By now, you've got 5 powerful tools in your memory toolbox. But we've saved the best for last. This final trick is something I like to call the anchor method, and it's all about tying names and dates to places you know like the back of your hand. Think of your mind as a cozy, familiar house. Every room holds memories, right? So why not use those rooms to store the details you want to remember? Let's say you meet someone named Daisy at the library. Picture her sitting in your favorite armchair at home, surrounded by daisies blooming right out of the cushions. Or maybe you need to remember that your friend Victor's retirement party is on the 15th. Visualize Victor standing in your kitchen, holding a giant 15 balloon while flipping pancakes, because why not? The more vividly you place that person or date in a specific spot you know well, the easier it'll be to recall later. This method works wonders because our brains are naturally spatial. Ever walked into a room and suddenly remembered exactly where you left your keys? That's your brain's love of place kicking in. So lean into it. Next time you're at a grandchild's soccer game and meet another parent named Lou, imagine them sitting in your car's driver's seat, honking the horn. Lou, Lou, Lou. Sounds quirky, but trust me, it sticks. Now, let's take a step back and look at the whole picture. We've covered 6 tried and true tricks. Linking names to something familiar, repeating them aloud, creating mental snapshots, chunking dates into meaningful pieces, weaving stories, and anchoring memories to places. Each one is a stepping stone toward a sharper, more confident you. But here's the real secret. These tricks work best when you mix and match them. For instance, if your book club meets on the 22nd of every month, chunk that date. Maybe 22 reminds you of two ducks waddling. Then anchor it to your living room couch where you read. Add a story about the ducks quacking their opinions on the latest novel. The more layers you add, the harder it is for that memory to escape. And let's not forget, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Some days you'll remember every name at the family reunion. Other days you might still draw a blank, and that's okay. What matters is that you're giving your brain the gentle exercise it craves. Like tending a garden, it's the daily care that brings the blooms. So, as we wrap up, I want you to take a moment and pat yourself on the back. Seriously, go ahead. You've just invested in yourself, and that's something to celebrate. Imagine the confidence you'll feel when you greet folks by name at your next gathering, or when you surprise your granddaughter by remembering her science fair date without a single sticky note. That's the power of a mind that's been given the right tools and a little bit of love. Before I go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these tricks? Maybe you've got a memory tip of your own. Share it in the comments below. We're all here to learn from each other. And if this video brought you even one aha moment, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. We've got plenty more conversations like this to share. Remember, age is just a number, but your potential? Well, that's limitless. Keep those mental gears turning, stay curious, and never stop surprising yourself. After all, every day is a new chance to learn, grow, and shine a little brighter. Here's to you and the incredible memories you're about to make.